What is up, Axie fam? Just got out of the shower. I wanted to talk about this price action that's happening right now with AXS. It's happening live currently. What is going on, right? So let's look at the charts. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. I just want to let y'all know what is going on in the marketplace. So as of right now, AXS is down whopping 20%. Now, what is causing this dramatic spike, right? So if you were bearish on AXS, then you're doing pretty good. But if you have been DCAing every single day since $100, you're in a rough situation as of today, right? 768. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. Okay, so number one, what does this change, right? How does this impact you? Most players, it won't impact them at all, right? Because you don't earn AXS in the game, you only earn it on the leaderboard. So it's not like your daily earnings have been suddenly cut in half. It does mean is that people that spent like $3,000 and $4,000 buying the Endless Anger bug mid, they're buying the secret cocoons or the scotch tape and putting it on their, doing the dual cottontail lamb stuff. If you are on that plan, it is very, very expensive. So if you had that team from season 0, right on, you're gonna be in the money, I'm sure, at least for a couple AXS, right? Those of you that spent like $1,100 on Endless Anger only to turn around and AXS tank, what does this really mean, right? So let's look at the leaderboard rewards, right? So looking at the Lunacian, right, we can see leaderboard rewards, first place was over $90,000. That is when they announced us at our handy dandy calculator, right? So 6750 times what is now, because it was $13 at the time. So now our AXS is 781. So multiply that times 7.81. So now first place is 52,700. Not much change in the grand scheme of things. However, those of y'all that spent $2,000 and $3,000, $4,000 on their team, hoping to win it big and win that big AXS prize now, let's look at the leaderboard rewards one more time and see what the math looks like, right? On this, we can see, top 5,000 is only 2.8 AX. I'm sure somebody already has a chart with this. So we have 2.8 times 7. I'm gonna do $7 even. I'm gonna round down. So $19 for everybody that finishes top 5,000. And now for top 100, we're looking at 225 times $7. So $1,500 if you finish in the top 100. That means if you bought Endless Anger, you're kind of, as they say, up shit creek without a paddle. Those of y'all that were able to pick up their teams for significantly less and were able to, top 100 with their dual aquas from V2, then right on you, because now you're going to be making some money. The person that spends $50,000 to get first place only wins $52,000? Feels really bad. So let's get on to the second part of this video. Why is this happening, right? So I think it's two factors. Number one is there is a huge group slowly pulling out of Axie Infinity. Detrimental, right? Because they do the majority of the breeding. They hold a lot of the AXS. They are the people that are staking AXS. I think the biggest factor, right? So we have AXS being rewarded for the contest. And that went out. And that was like about half an AXS for like everybody in the top 2,000 or 20,000. So $5 times 20,000 people. So we're giving out a lot more AXS than we had thought, right? So season 0 rewards were huge. Gave out a ton of AXS. So those people have liquidated those, I'm sure, already, right? We had to wait for the validations because they have to check to see if there's anything weird going on with their accounts, any weird trading, see if Axies are moving between accounts in the same mask, making sure people aren't, win trading and like stuff like that. And then they investigate some of the higher end players to make sure there's no shenanigans going on, right? So after that happens, then the AXS rewards go live and then you can claim them. So now that those rewards are being claimed, they're being liquidated into the marketplace. So a lot of supply is being dumped on the marketplace, right? So that's a big factor. But another big factor, I think, bear with me because this is kind of a stretch. There's no guarantee. I cut myself shaving, man, right there. Cover up my earmuffs. This game is very close to coming out. And so I think a lot of the big whales in Axie Infinity are moving on, right? It's good for the regular people because that's going to be an opportunity to play the game and, you know, for very, very cheap. We're seeing Axies as low as, like, I was looking earlier. Check this out. Pure Axies with 0 breeds. We're seeing them $1 and $2. You know what's crazy is I was doing this even. We have pure Axies with 0 breeds that have sumo bodies for like $8 to $25 starting out. The floor on one of those in July of 2021 would have been like $500 or $600, right? I know this because I paid those prices in the past. So now that AXS is super affordable, SLP is super affordable, then now that the regular people can like buy Axies for pretty cheap and breed them, and that's a lot of fun. And so is this gonna hurt Axie Infinity? It's hard to tell because I think the people that really enjoy the competitive scene, they're gonna stick around. But there are some groups, I think they're gearing up to pull out of Axie Origin and Axie Infinity altogether. And they want to move their org in a different direction, right? And so with that, the whales that run those orgs, they take their money with them. So I'm assuming it's being liquidated, and I'm pretty sure it's on Binance, which means it's most likely not American assets. They're being sold. It's probably overseas and stuff. So it is interesting to see that, but I think number 3, right? The third big factor. SLP earnings have tanked since Origin. Even that being said, SLP's remained around 0.003 cents. SLP is also tanked to 0.002966, down 14%. So it went from 0.0033 to 0.0029. Now breeding is super affordable. It's more affordable than ever. So now the average person can breed his Axies or her Axies or their Axies and have a good time waiting on that 5-day to hatch their Axies. While I understand that some people are really hurt because the potential earnings have essentially tanked, right? And AXS at that time was about 1886. So this 1854 down to 1485. And this was the target that I had expected AXS to be years ago, right? I expected it to be $13 to $19 max, you know, and I expected it to be at the very low $13. And we sat there pretty much all of October until today. So number 1 is don't get caught with the bag, right? If you buy AXS at 25 cents and it shoots up to $100, it doesn't make any sense to hold on to that much longer and hope that it reaches $10,000, right? So if you do, and this is not financial advice, but this is what I have done in the past with cake. Like I had a bunch of stuff in Pancake Swap, a bunch of Yoshi, and I had a bunch of Shiba, and I had a bunch of Dogecoin, right? So I've had success in them only because I did not hold the bag. So when I had my $37 in Doge and it became $300, I took my $37 out. And then it sat there, and it became what we refer to as a moon bag. Know when to take profits, right? Does this change the game? No. I mean, some investors might change their minds. Like their vision of Sky Mavis might change, or their perspective rather of Sky Mavis might change. But do I think it's going to affect the game at all? No. We're about to get some really cool stuff around the corner. So I'm not going anywhere until we get mutations, right? And whether or not mutations and the next series of starter Axies, I can't wait for the next series of starter Axies. I want to play the Poison Venuki guy, and I want to play, what's the name of the guy? Hold on, I'm going to have to reference my own video. Click right there if you don't know what I'm talking about. There was a bunch of leaks that I did regarding the Axie starters that we haven't seen yet, right? There's one that turns the burns in your opponent's decks into like a better version of burn. They don't go away. So you play like a double hot, he himself has hot butt. But when he uses it, he turns, I think it does 60 damage to all Axies. And then it turns all the burns in your opponent's decks to scorches. which no longer get exiled at the end of the turn. Pretty sweet. I can't wait for that. So there's a bunch of stuff to be excited for. Stick around. You know, this might be the best time to get into Axie. Now that the prices have corrected, this might be an excellent time to get into Axie Infinity. You might be able to pick a very fun team up for like 10 or 15 bucks. People aren't earning SLP, and I think that's kind of a deterrent because you need so much SLP to craft inside the game, and you have to craft to succeed. The people that grind for the moon shards and grind for the SLP, those ones are the ones that are successful on the leaderboard. So I don't know. There's a lot to be excited for. Number one, we're excited for mutations. There is a rumor they deleted it off the post, and so I seem like a maniac, but on the Lunacian, they mentioned it, that they wanted to gear up for mutations for Season 2. So we might hear some stuff about it here in about 20 days, about 2 weeks after the season ends. I'm expecting a mutations announcement, right? And then we'll get upgrade parts, which is kind of the same thing, but we'll be able to release Axies, and when you let them go into the wild, they leave upgrade parts behind that you can use to upgrade your Axie's abilities. So you might have a cactus that's 2, you know, and it always has the taunt. It doesn't have to be if initial, you know, or something like that. We might see, you know, like Sheba, right? Sheba might be entirely different. It might be a Sheba with 9 tails, and then it's like gives you 9 fierce attacks or something. So we don't know. But there's some stuff to be excited for. And then we have a whole new series of starter Axies. And then we have the next season of Adventure. That includes the actual story. You know, the continuation of Puff and Olek and Trip and all of them. Ina. We'll continue on this story and see what happens once we get further into the woods where the guy's like creating chimeras and such. But there's a lot of stuff to be excited for. And then also lands. So there's a ton of stuff still. Do I think the prices is gonna go back up? No, I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. Right now, $7. This is a very good price. $7.80 is a very good price for AXS. If it goes even lower, I'm gonna start buying. That's not financial advice, but that's just me. There's a lot of stuff to be excited for, but I want to breed a pure bird with feather fan, robin, and winghorn. Right? So like now it's really affordable. Now I might be able to do that for like a few $100s instead of a few $1,000 or $10,000. Do not forget, we have the Marketplace Phase 3 upgrade, which will enable us to make offers on other Axies, and it'll enable us to use our credit cards to buy anything off the Marketplace. So you won't have to like use the bridge to bridge over funds and stuff like that. So like comment down below with what you're excited for most. If you're going to be buying excess, if you think this is a good price, if you think it's going down, whatever. Do I think the prices are going to improve? No. It's affordable. We want Axie to be affordable, so when we are finally on other platforms, people are interested. If they see those gigantic $300 price tags like it was in July of 2021 or whatever, people are not going to be interested in Axie. All right? There's too many obstacles in between seeing and learning about Axie and then playing. There's too many steps in between. There's so much stuff to be excited for. Anyways, I gotta get to my ramen, man. Thanks. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next video, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck in your matches.